A to the K.
A to the K.
A to the K.
Plans for Rock versus Cody Rhodes revealed.
Natalya released by WWE.
Cody Rhodes hints at getting a manager.
WWE does Japan.
Debbie does that. No, Mark Henry's AEW contract expiring soon.
New WWE shows coming to Netflix.
And could we see WrestleMania at Saudi Arabia? Anthony, when's all this coming up?
Right freaking now.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
So let me talk
Yes,
about
it
the first one that I've definitely already know about, and I'm not just reading to you right now off my phone. Brian Gewirtz was recently a guest on the Masked Men show, and he was talking about plans for The Rock and Cody Rhodes, and he made the comparison of The Rock and Cody to Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. I don't know what you make of that.
Wait, so The Rock's his dad?
Except for the fact he's his dad. So I don't really know what the comparison is there for villain and good guy. Yeah. So he made that comparison. But he's quoted as saying, "You've
Who's
got
the
no
emperor?
idea."
Vince will be the emperor, right?
Not anymore.
Well, not anymore.
You have no idea what's coming next. And that's, I think, kind of, there's a lot of Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker to Rock and Cody, even though, obviously he's not his father or anything, but there's still a lot of parallels between that. That's, I feel, going to continue.
I like how
I'm reading a quote.
Sorry?
That's, I feel, going to continue because he flat out said it. It's like, your story with Roman's over, ours is just beginning. And then he handed him the thing, and we'll see where that goes.
The thing.
Sorry, go on.
I'm just saying, if he's going to, he can't say it's like Darth Vader and Luke and it's unpredictable. It's like, so if it's either like Darth Vader and Luke and what you're saying is The Rock is eventually going to come good.
And chop off his hand.
Then it's predictable.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Or it's unpredictable and Cody turns heel, which would be more fun.
Yeah.
Just becomes just as much of a dick.
But the fact that he's continuing to talk about this, Brian Gewirtz, it makes you think, doesn't it? They're gonna do it, aren't they? They're gonna do Cody and Rock at WrestleMania. It's the last thing I want.
Yep.
They're gonna do Cody and Rock at Mania, and then we might see Rock and Roman at the following WrestleMania. Like,
we want Rock and Roman now.
They're dragging it out, man.
But because they fucked up.
They keep talking long term.
They get
storytelling.
confused about what the fans actually want. They course corrected and give us Cody and Roman, and because now they think that we don't want Roman Rock, and it's like, we want Roman Rock.
We just didn't want it then.
We wanted the
and we also don't want it in 2 years. So it's like they talk about all this, like we've got it all planned out. It's long term storytelling, but yeah, at the fucking drop of a dime, they pivot and change it to something anyway. So it's like, well, what's the point? Well,
and at some point, one of these matches is going to be sponsored by Rolex.
Well, yeah.
So, the thing he handed up is apparently a watch.
Well, exactly. I don't know why
we're all about Rolexes now. These motherfuckers are all wearing 10 watches each now. Exactly. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, unless he changed their mind down the line and he handed him something else entirely. It's like one of those little
tweety pebble
thing. That'd be funny. Sorry. But yeah, so it looks like it's happening. We are going to get Rock and Cody. It's not confirmed to be WrestleMania, but like if it was at SummerSlam or something, I think fine. But it sounds like what they're doing now is they're doing the whole bloodline story. So they're going to have Rock and Roman come back eventually, and they'll deal with Solo and fucking Tama and Jacob Fatu when he gets there and all that shit. And that'll take a year. And then, just as they got back on track, Rock and Roman are going to fucking break up, and then it'll take ages to get to them at the next WrestleMania. It's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long-term plan. I just don't know if we're going to be there for the ride. I don't know if the fans are going to be like Tama's biggest battle's probably going to be with his inner demons by the looks of the way his character's going.
Banana.
Like fucking Tasmanian devil.
Fucking minion. So yeah, we're getting this basically. So Rock's personal right-hand man, writer friend, Brian Gewirtz, has alluded to it. So. Great news all around.
Yeah. Speaking of great news,
no,
Natalya, right? Obviously the headline, because we're fucking clickbaity troll bastards, aren't we? Because that's she's been released by WWE. That's not entirely true, but we got you here, so ha. Obviously reported by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, who Triple H deems a really credible source. He has confirmed that Natalya's contract is actually up in a couple of weeks, and technically she'll end up being a free agent. Now, there's no suggestion that she's re-signed with the company, but I mean, I don't know how you feel about this. I think they've been given her, like, if we haven't seen her really on screen in a while, I'd be a bit like, maybe they'll just go, you know what, actually. But they've been letting her work with the younger talent in NXT, and I feel like that's probably part of the whole thing of like, no, we still want you.
Yeah.
So I think she's going to resign. We can speculate and talk about like possibility of Natalya going to AEW because that's what everyone does when everyone mentions her fucking contract.
Yeah.
But
I mean that would be mad if she went there. I do think because of the way she's given back to wrestlers in like not really the dungeon, is it? But they've got their own. Her and TJ have got their own training facility, haven't they? So the way
might
that
have
they're
a
giving
dungeon
back,
as well.
maybe. I can definitely see her staying on with WWE in the future as some sort of kind of trainer.
Yeah, I think her future is like you say, it's that in that more behind the scenes developing people kind of role.
Well, it'd be a shame if this is kind of the end for her because I still don't feel like she got the credit she deserved and the opportunity that she deserved.
It's one of that. It's weird, isn't it? Because I do feel like she deserves like a modern day top tier title run, but she's just so far away from that at the moment that I don't know if they'll ever actually pull the trigger on that.
No. But like she's working with Carmen Petrovic in NXT at the minute, so they could go down the route of Carmen turning on her or something and writing her off TV and stuff. But yeah, remains to be seen. Like she hasn't signed anything yet, but that was the same with like Drew McIntyre, and it was very clear he wasn't going anywhere. Yeah. So
Drew to AEW. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, hopefully she sticks around both on screen and
I mean,
the benefit of the talent.
This is the thing. I'd prefer that to me she's a WWE person. Like she always has been. So I think it just makes sense she stay.
Yeah.
Let's see if that's what Trips wants.
Indeed. Speaking of what Cody wants, however, so anyone who saw SmackDown this past week saw Logan Paul with his little entourage in the ring, and Cody was all by himself, all on his lonesome, and he has basically said seeing the entourage made him kind of want to have a bit of a classic wrestling manager back with him. So it was like
a classic wrestling manager.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He was the full quote, I think, is one of the reasons I liked having Arn Anderson around me was the same reason I would have loved to have my dad around me because I'll tell you, I'm lucky. I'll tell you how hard I work and how grateful I am and my red bottom shoes and my
it's got to mention red bottom shoes in there somewhere.
I don't think it did.
No?
But it was something I actually missed when Logan and I were doing this contract signing. To see him flanked by so many people, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking for the classic wrestling manager to join me on this title reign. I don't know who that is or what that is, but it just felt like I wouldn't mind someone to holler the stuff that you just did.
It's a who, isn't it? Not a what? Why did he say that?
I don't know.
I brought a wolf. Why?
Well, he's got his dog.
Oh, yeah, he has.
He could. But it's kind of two names, really, in the hat by the looks of it, unless for some weird, miraculous reason, Paul Heyman. He's looking at my phone, by the way. Anyone wondering? Well, he's just looking down this direction.
I've zoned in on the word holler.
Teddy Long.
Teddy Long is going to be his manager.
Where did it say holler? Oh, yeah. I wouldn't mind someone to holler the stuff that you just did.
It's Teddy Long. It's Teddy Long. It makes sense given his lineage.
Does that mean you can go one-on-one with The Undertaker?
He might do. He might do.
But yeah.
The whole faction built around Cody. It'd be Teddy Long as his manager, and Cody avoids every fight by sending The Undertaker out there. Fuck it.
Great. To be fair. That's why Undertaker showed up and saved him at WrestleMania. So I mean, it's long-term storytelling, man.
Long-term.
But yeah, you would imagine it's either he's referring to wanting to bring in Brandy Rhodes or wanting to bring back the Glockmaster himself, Arn Anderson. Triple H is big on Arn Anderson, let's be fair. Stoles.
Arn wouldn't be a bad shout. I think him and Arn work well together. Like, I wouldn't really say he was I always think manager like Paul Heyman, like a mouthpiece, but Arn wasn't really a mouthpiece for him, except when he went off on one and started talking about Glocks. Yeah. But like he came across more as a coach. He was there supporting him, and he had the card and all that. You know, like he was more like coaching him rather than being vocal.
Didn't he like set fires at his house and stuff? Remember that briefly?
I think
like in his yard, and he was setting stuff on fire and a big. So you know, manager stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Manager stuff. I think Brandy might be a bit unlikely because hasn't she got like her own stuff going on with the yoga stuff and that now?
Yeah, she does. She's got
like her own business ventures, hasn't she? So I don't know if she necessarily. Obviously, she makes time for Cody because we've seen her at a lot of events. Yeah. I just don't know if she'd be coming on screen talent again. So.
Yeah, it's an interesting one though, isn't it? Because I don't know how that quite works because you've got the tour bus, so I imagine Brandy and Libby go with Cody quite a lot to places.
Yeah, you'd think so. Yeah.
So she would be around and available maybe sometimes, but yeah, remains to be seen. But Cody wants a manager, and it's either going to be Arn or Brandy, I would suspect.
I'm still saying Teddy Long. I'm going to call it.
Oh,
They threw the hint in there. It said holler in the text. That is an unusual word to throw out there. It's Teddy Long. It's going to be Teddy Long.
Okay.
Called it. Right. Speaking of calling it, WWE it has absolutely no connection at all. WWE returning to Japan, Carl. and I believe it's been more than 5 years since they were last in Japan.
Mm.
And they're holding 3 events over in Japan, 2 in Tokyo and 1 in Osaka. So that's all I've got to report on, really.
Okay.
It's wonderful. We get to see them in Japan. Obviously, they've got some great Japanese wrestlers, so
make sure to feature them on the advertisements.
Featuring them definitely heavily.
Shinsuke is going to be there. Io's going to be there. Asuka's going to be there.
Just gonna list them all.
Kairi's going to be there.
WWE's doing a great job of categorizing everyone into the right order.
This is true.
So it's fine. We just stay. But no, it's gonna be good. I think.
Makes you think
there
though.
was a big talk with the WWE about they wanted to basically take over the world, and they were gonna have NXT Japan, we're gonna have NXT Europe, we're gonna have NXT everywhere, NXT Cola, and then they were like, actually, the pandemic, nah.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that they're starting to continue the worldwide sort of.
Well, there's rumours for a while, isn't there? WWE want to strike up some kind of partnership with Japanese promotions. So could this be the first step on that, where they go over there?
It's an interesting nut to crack in it, because like they've gone from like we'll start up NXT Japan to like we'll work with the companies. And I think because they know that it's like, it's not as easy as just rivaling them all. To be honest, there's a lot of loyalty there for the Japanese promotions, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, maybe this is like how they do it. They bring some of the Joshies over to get involved in some of these matches, for example. Maybe you have like.
You got to imagine there's going to be some involvement like that.
Yeah, Damage Control versus, I don't know, 3 from a different promotion, that kind of thing. Shinsuke versus someone.
Well, no, it'd be a great event, and great for the Japanese, because say it's been a long. I mean, we were thirsty as fuck for a Clash at the Castle, so you can only imagine. Parched, yeah.
Parched. Speaking of parched, again, Sean Ross Sapp has reported that Mark Henry's AEW contract is set to expire this month. So we're literally talking, 8 or 9 days, and he's no longer with AEW. So he hasn't said whether there's any plans to renew or anything like that. Obviously, he's regularly on Busted Open Radio, where he gives his honest opinions, I would assume, on both WWE and AEW. But the big thing with Mark Henry is, I'll be honest, I don't watch Rampage anymore.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
But he used to always be on Rampage, and he used to do the thing before the main event, didn't he? And he was promptly featured. I don't know if he does that anymore. But one thing he definitely does is he's fucking immense at finding talent. He found Jade Cargill, for example.
Yeah.
And it's like, this guy is like,
Fucking boss at Where's Wally as well.
He's good. Yeah. Really? Where's Waldo?
Sorry, Waldo, yeah.
The guy can find anything, what I was saying. And he may have to find a new job, because he's...
I've heard he found a needle in a haystack once. Nothing to follow that up.
I thought there was going to be some kind of punchline.
Leaving you in suspense there.
Yeah. But I think it'd be a big loss for AW from that side of things. I'm not sure how involved he is in
they fail to re-sign him, mate.
Talent side.
Somebody going to get their ass kicked.
Somebody going to get their
wig split.
Wig split. That's the one. I prefer our Valentine's card. Someone going to get their ass licked, to be honest. So,
still the best one.
Yeah. Buy that now at A2theK.UK. But yeah, I think it'd be a big loss for them. He's obviously a very well respected guy, and he brings a lot from a scouting capacity as well. So
Indeed. So, Carl, you'll be able to expand your library of Netflix and chill pretty soon. WWE coming to Netflix in January 2025, I believe. But this isn't just WWE Raw, and I suppose in our country, every part of WWE, because we're losing the network. But no, they're expanding this out. They want to get some reality shows on the go, and recently they filed a trademark with WWE Vault, which sounds like it's going to be maybe like a... I don't think there's an actual vault. I don't think these sacks Vince was like, what the fuck is this door?
Everyone who takes place in WWE Speed now gets a pole vault.
Nice. Yeah. Ricochet's just there straight away. So WWE Vault has been recently filed trademark. The suggestion is there's going to be a number of different shows that Netflix are invested in, so it's not just going to be your standard weekly WWE wrestling show. It's going to be WWE Universe centric, so we're going to get some reality shit going on as well. So, you'll be able to sit down, chill with a bit of Netflix, and watch just meaty men going at each other. That's what you normally do.
What more could anyone want? I've got to say, though, it makes me a bit worried for the future. I mean, I don't know what Peacock's like in America anyway, but WWE Network, it makes me worried for the future of that over here, because if they're going to start to build up their own content library on the likes of Netflix, are they only going to do these new stuff and bin off all the other stuff? Are they going to replace all the fact you can go back and watch any wrestling event ever with WWE Vault?
Here's the thing. Like, it's a bit different with the States, because they're only getting some stuff on Netflix, aren't they? But as I understand it, we're getting both. We're getting we're getting NXT and everything, aren't we? We're getting
I think so.
all the weekly shows.
Yeah.
I think it's possibly more likely in the European side, if you will, that they're just going to sack the network and go, right, there's your library, and Netflix have got a big offering straight out the gate.
Maybe. I just hope that we don't lose a lot of stuff, because every now and again I like to just go in there and go, I've not watched Broken Skull sessions with this guy for a while. Or...
I like to think they're just going to take over the library. As far as this country goes, I know that the deal's probably a bit harder to work out in the States, but I think as far as this country goes, they're just going to go, yeah, there's what's on the WWE network. We're not signed to anything else in the UK, so just have all of that.
Yeah.
And I
wonder how that's going to work, like from a findability standpoint. Like the WWE network sucks anyway, you can never find anything on there, but would you have to just search WWE and just be like, and just find something?
They might have a WWE section.
Maybe.
Netflix is not really great at categorizing, if I'm honest. So you might just have to go through to, we noticed you watch this, we're going to recommend this. And you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know, that's how I do it.
Speaking about what the fuck is this, Anthony, the last one we'll talk about today. So it's heavily rumored that Saudi Arabia are trying to make a bid to bring either WrestleMania or Royal Rumble.
John Cena promised us WrestleMania.
I know, John. What are you playing at? But money talks, doesn't it? So I think.
Oh shit! Well, yeah. If money's talking, they're gonna win.
Exactly. So yeah, apparently they want to bring either WrestleMania or Royal Rumble to Saudi in like the next year or two.
They've already had the Rumble.
Well, they had the greatest Rumble. So they want to bring literally either the one of the big four, but essentially one of the big two.
Let them have SummerSlam. I don't care about that one.
Yeah.
Oh no, Survivor Series. I like SummerSlam more than Survivor Series. Let them have Survivor Series.
Which, I mean, let's be honest, depending on the time they put it on, it could work out great for us.
I mean, that's a fair point. Like that's the mad thing, isn't it? Really, because they'd be, for the sake of Saudi, and this is where the deal probably has to be quite favourable. They're going to put it on at a really obscure time for their normal fan base.
Yeah.
So
that's what makes me think the Rumble's more likely than a Mania, because Mania is like a fucking 2-night thing, and everyone goes and makes a full-on weekend of it and stuff. And
WrestleMania 40 is going to be 6 nights, and it's going to be in the UK, Saudi, fucking Ireland. Where else is that?
We already had WrestleMania 40. That did not happen.
41.
That's in Vegas. You know these things.
Shut up, man.
WrestleMania 47, maybe. Yeah, it's just, I don't know how I would feel about that, if I'm honest.
I don't know. Yeah, WrestleMania. It'd be surprising for them to do that. Like, I feel like WrestleMania has been like obviously they're a US company, aren't they? And this is their flagship. This is their biggest pay-per-view of the year. It seems even if they put it in the UK, to be honest, it seems strange. It's not like a Saudi thing. If they said we're gonna have WrestleMania in the UK, obviously we're gonna be like, yeah, okay, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
But it'd feel weird because it's like, surely that's the one that you keep in the US, you know?
Yeah. Like, if they are going to bring WrestleMania to Saudi, it only increases the chances. Or does it? Does it actually hurt the UK? Because they go, well, fucking hell, like, we can't have WrestleMania being at this time too often.
Or it'll rise and fall on in success, wouldn't it? If it goes absolute gangbusters in Saudi, then we stand a good chance.
Yeah.
If the viewership drops because most Americans like them, then yeah, maybe not.
Maybe not. But yeah, don't know how we feel about it, but there's very serious discussions happening about the possibility of it.
Super serial discussion.
We will see. As we know, Vegas is the host city for 41, but yeah, who knows for 42 and beyond.
And what happens in Vegas
stays in Saudi Arabia. That'd be the news.
Yep.
That's all we got for you.
Yep.
That was the news. So yeah, do the usual stuff, like, subscribe.
Do the news voice. And that's the news.
I wish we had some papers to shuffle.
I know. Where are the papers?
And then we could just pretend to talk about
it. Crinkle a bag.
Don't crinkle a bag.
Okay.
No.
ASMR though?
Every time. Audio listeners, we apologise. Yeah, catch you on the next one.